Hi everyone, Nathan here from Mighty Lancer Games, and welcome to this evening's stream where I'm going to be painting this magic card primarily. So welcome to this evening's stream. Hopefully you'll find it fun and informative, and Mrs. MLG is going to do loads of talking because and hopefully the stream is not going to play up. So I can see Tony and Red Snail and Sharon there in the chat. Apologies if I missed anybody. Wicked DNP, I do apologise for missing you out. So hopefully you've all had a great day, and we're gonna paint this magic card. So I started a little bit early. So what I'm going to try and do is, the card is called Cultivate, and the theme for Goblin Inspiration is growth. So cultivate to promote growth. So the scene that I'm going to paint on this card is this guy with his couple of like beasts of burden towing a plough, and then he's going to be ploughing this field, and we're going to have a nice kind of like sunset in the sky and stuff, and we're going to try and make it look all interesting. So yeah, should be cool. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get like blocking the colours to start off with, and we'll see how we go. But yeah, so I've just put some very, very thin layers on here so far. So I used some aged bone for this beast at this side. Now this is a magic card, so these can be fantastical creatures. So I was thinking if I make them look a bit like oxen, and I'm going to give them some like big horns and stuff on the top, and this guy at the back, he's going to have he's got like red trousers, and I'm going to give him a bluey, really pale blue shirt and hat. And these beasts, they're going to get like a bit more feature, obviously, and some nice big horns. And then we're going to have it so he's like ploughing the field, and then this part of the field is going to have some like small rows of like greenery in, and then we'll have some like hills and trees and stuff in the background. So yeah, let's crack on. So aged bone at that side, this is Green Stuff World Choco Brown at this side, and then the only other thing that I've done is a little bit of Reaper sunburned flesh for the skin of the guy because he's out working in the sunshine, and some fire red from Vallejo, which is a model air colour, very thin, just for these bits of trousers that you can see it. So we're just going to try and like piece this together with a bit of other colour and what have you. So I've got like a rough pencil sketch on the card so far, and then we're going to fill it in, and I'm going to kind of make it up as we go along. Red Snail says, happy trees. Yes, that's right, we're going to have some happy trees just there at the background, and maybe like a fluffy little white kitten here at the bottom or something. Just Mr. Venkman would like that, wouldn't he? Dr. Venkman would like a fluffy little kitten in the bottom corner. Tony says he's not played Magic for over 20 years. He tried the phone app last year and couldn't get past the tutorial. It's so tedious, the tutorial on the thing. I think it's overly complex is how I would describe it. Right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to find the grey browny kind of colour that I want, which is the ochre, wherever that is. There we go, umber. Sorry, umber. So we're going to use some dark umber, and I'm going to use that for the plough itself, which is going to look a bit odd from this angle, and the bar that's going across between the two beasts. And I've got a plaster on my finger because I cut myself this morning while I was cleaning up some resin minis. So apologise. It's the third plaster I've had it on it today as well, so but it looks a bit skanky when I've just seen it close up under the thing. I do apologise for being a skank. Right then, so what I'm doing is I've mixed some, or I've got some Water Plus from Instar, on my wet palette here. So I've got a bit of that. Need to get a little bit more actually. But I've got some of this Water Plus, and I'm using that to thin my paints just to make sure that they're properly thin for this job, because we want to get them looking cool. We're going to build it up bit by bit. And I don't normally kind of paint in this format, not for a long time. So, not that I've ever painted a Magic card before, but not like on a flat surface. Haven't painted anything like this for a long while. Yeah, so steady as we go, because I don't want to mess it up.
Tony says, I'm totally lost with the new formats and all the names for them now. Hey Karinoko, how are ya?
Good evening.
So what did you do to your finger? What were you messing with? Some of your what are they? Forge World?
Yeah.
Is that what you were messing with?
Yeah.
That you've had since, what did we decide? 2019?
2018.
2018. It had some bit of paper in, didn't it, that said that you had got the models that you were messing with this morning in 2018, and you've only just taken them out of the box.
Yeah.
And you were putting them together and cleaning them up because they're resin from Forge World, and you were cleaning them up and decided that part of the cleanup would be to slice your finger.
Yeah. Well, obviously I didn't do that bit on purpose, did I? But
Because you're a silly Billy.
yeah. So.
And then you did a little video, didn't you, of the models going, you know, like a picture of them?
On the turntable, yeah, I did.
You've got a lot of minis over there. How many Space Marines have you got on your desk? That's a lot of stuff.
About 40, maybe.
So the desk isn't that big, and in front of him, he's got a paint rack full of contrast paints and 40 Space Marines, all not fully painted, and some 3 pots of glue for no reason at all.
What do you mean 3 pots of glue?
You've got 3 pots of glue.
Yeah, super glue, plastic glue, and quick setting extra thin plastic glue.
Is that 3 pots of glue?
Yeah, but they're all essential, aren't they? They're all essential pots of glue.
And then you've got more paint at this side.
Yeah.
And you're in like a little, it's like a little square. So he's got paint all on the left hand side, paint and Space Marines in front of him, and then down the right hand side, he's got his microphone and the water, which Pete wants you to hydrate with right now, and 2 paintbrush racks. And it's all just the black square that he's painting on, that black cardboard. It's just all in that area. That'd do my head in. There's too much stuff. I'd be feeling claustrophobic with hobby stuff. I'd be getting like, ah! I mean, I'm feeling a bit overwhelmed because I've got 2 miniatures that aren't quite finished at the same time.
Yeah, so this morning, I'll show you what I was working on actually.
Man space in red snail.
Flash them on. So what I was doing, I have some, I already have some Alpha Legion Lianen, I think they're called, Linnean Terminators, which are these guys that I whacked some bright turquoise on the other day. So I've already got some of those, but then I've got some more, which I've had for a while. But after playing a game last week, I decided that rather than having the power axes, because they came up against something, a dreadnought, and they couldn't kill it, so I decided that I needed to give them power fists. So checked in the rules, yeah, that's a legit thing. You can give them power fists, so I needed to convert them to have power fists. So this morning, I hacked some of these guys up, and it was while I was trimming and what have you that I managed to cut myself while I was giving these guys power fists. So I stuck the chain fist attachment on, not necessarily maybe going to use that in game, but I just thought it's cool, I'll stick it on, and then if anybody questions, then I can just say yeah, I'm using it, or no, I'm not using it, depending on whether I want to pay the extra points for it. So rule of cool as well, you know. It's funky. So I built some of those guys this morning, and then I also built Alfarius which I got at the same time as the Terminators. So had him a long time. Don't know whether, well, I kind of regret sticking his cloak on, to be fair, because it's going to be a bit of a pain in the ass to paint the back of the Mini, so I might have to carefully remove that when I come to paint him. But he's a beautiful figure and comes with a really nice scenic base when I get to paint him. But yeah, I've only had him, he's like about to stab this guy through on the floor. So only had these for 4 years, nearly 3.5 years, and then the other thing that I was tinkering with this morning. So I've had this guy for a while. Had this dreadnought for a while, but I wanted to have this this marine that he's kind of like about to slice in two in his arm. So he is one of the Space Marines from one of the other Primarch's bases. So he's like, I think it's Angron. He's running and chopping up the guys as he runs. But I thought that this Mini looked like it was getting ready to be crushed. So the power claw on this dreadnought is about to snip it in two. And then it's also stood on top of this guy who's trying to crawl away as well. So just having a bit of a tinker with him. Well,
Redstale says your job sounds like pure hell. But this was before work. This was about 6 o'clock this morning, wasn't it?
I woke up at about 6:20. I couldn't get back to sleep, so I just thought I'll just get up and do something. So
it was on his mind to get it done. It was playing on his mind, so he sneaked out of the bedroom and came in here to mess with his toys. Didn't even bring the dog with him. Left the dog with me.
I did. I brought the dog, but he decided that he didn't want to be in here, so he came back in there.
What are you looking for?
I was looking for some light blue paint. I thought I'd got some light blue paint.
I thought you said you were already.
Yeah.
How light blue?
Yeah, like sky blue. Yeah, that one will do.
You sure?
Yeah, that'll do. So we'll use some... Are Space Marines getting their gear from Primarch now? Oh, yes. Yeah, I'm with you. Yeah, very good. It's come out like a... And obviously I haven't shaken that up enough. Ice Storm, it's come out like a lilac-y kind of colour, but we'll go with that. Red Snail says, that time in the morning I just think of coffee. Well, I did make myself a coffee. Had a coffee while I was working. Right, so this is Army Painter.
Playing? You had a coffee while you were playing? Not working?
What did I say?
Working.
Well, it is kind of working, isn't it? I was working on some minis. Working on some minis.
Oh. Okay, sweetie, okay. You are a silly Billy.
Yeah. Right. So let's just get his.
I haven't done anything exciting today though. I have only added a few of the new Reaper Dungeon Dweller metals and some of the Dungeon Dweller USA Bones range. So they're in the new section on the website, so you can see them. So they're introducing their Dungeon Dwellers into the Reaper Bones USA realm, so they're made with their Bones USA product. So
Some of them are like recodes, aren't they, and stuff. So some existing figures that they've like redone in the Bones material. But they do nice minis, Reaper, don't they? You do some good quality. Oh, you can see like my bald spot proper down there.
I know, because it's all advertising if you put it on the Discord. Yeah, but he doesn't know, does he, Karamoki? He doesn't put it on the Discord because he's a naughty boy.
I've done some videos,
Just like when your wife got up and went, I heard me videoing you doing that, and you went, not yet. Yes, so you've got your camera, your face camera, in a completely different position than normal. Because normally he has the camera that you can see his pretty little face in front of him. But because he's got the camera so you can see the card quite low down, he's had to put the camera up high. So he's looking up at you all when he's talking to you, and yes, we can see your bald spot. But it's fine, because, we still love you.
I love you too.
And also, the light isn't helping. Because your hair's white, you have more hair than it's showing.
I'm like a polar bear.
Because you can't see it because of the bright light. So there is more there than you can see. Honest gulf. It's that little bit you've got at the front. So you've got two. Well, yeah, because you've got two receding sections at the side, and then the bald spot like in the middle at the back, and then just a clump of hair at the front that's standing alone on its little Todd. How are you getting on?
Right, I'm gonna move on to painting some earth colours. So we've got some Vallejo Flat Earth. No, it's okay. I think it should be alright. There we go. Done some good blobbage. And then we're going to get some of this Water Plus.
So what's Water Plus then?
Water Plus, I have absolutely no idea what is in it, because they don't like sharing their mixture, but they said that this is kind of like the only thinner additive that you'll ever need to use. And I mean, it just looks like water, but then lots of things look like water, don't they? And it doesn't smell particularly. Let's have a little sniff. I've got a cold, so I can't smell anything. It doesn't smell like anything funky. But yeah, it
Welcome to our stream, sniffing water.
It thins paint. It's like an additive, like lamy and medium and stuff like that. But it thins paint without it losing too much of the consistency of the pigment and what have you. It's a really cool product. And I haven't really used it as much as I should have, because it's really good. So we're going to give it a whirl here, and then I'll be able to tell you all how fantastic it is. So this is, as you see, I've mixed this, so it's very thin. Hopefully you can see that. So it's like a watercolour almost on the card. And I'm just going to apply it in tiny little horizontal brush strokes, because I want to do some like grassy scrubland at that side of the cow creature.
Red Snail says they're Arctic highlights. They're not grey, they're Arctic highlights.
Yeah, I like it.
Chronoka says Water Plus is awesome. I have no idea what it is, but it gives me a +4 to my painting skill check.
Yeah, it's a really cool product, and I don't know why it works or how it works, but it's actually really good stuff, and is available at Mighty Lancer Games. So let's get that in there.
And as you all know, seems like we're not sponsored by anybody at all, because we're not big enough. If it was rubbish, then we'd tell you.
Yeah.
That's a very yellowy colour. What colour's that?
This is Flat Earth.
Alright, it's not normally that yellow.
No, it's because I've thinned it this much. So, neat out of the pot, it would be like...
Moxie!
Hi, Moxie! Neat out of the pot, it'd be like that, look.
Ah, right.
Up there, if you can see that. But, so let's thin that out a little bit. Yeah. So yeah, where was I saying? Neat out of the pot is a lot darker, but I've thinned it so much that it's obviously come a little yellow. And we've obviously got I've got feathered brush strokes at that side, but this at this side of my channel they're not quite the same because I'm using a different part of the brush.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I have absolutely no idea.
Need to try and get consistency across the
What
board.
brush are you using?
So I'm using my Rosemary and Co. size 1 series 22 brush that I use
Because
for
we can
all
only
of-
see your hand, really. So.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah. 'Cause
I'll try and hold it over it.
So what did the card look like before you painted it all white?
Yeah, I can't actually remember now. I think it had a hand on. Yeah, it was like a hand doing, holding some seeds or something. I think. I can't remember now. I really should have taken a picture of it. And,
Yeah, you should.
yeah. But that's fine because we can get an image of what it looked like before. Because it's a fairly common card.
What's it called?
Cultivate.
Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
Let's see if we can find it. There we go, look. Hand.
Yeah, that one. Yeah, that's it.
Let's see if we can show everybody. I can remember how to work a computer. So this is what the card looked like before. Before you painted it all white.
Yeah, that's it. That's the one. That was what it looked like before.
And now it looks like that.
And now it looks like this with this guy like ploughing his field.
So what made you choose that card? Because it's not worth anything and it was related to growth. Is that as easy as that?
Yes, it's what's commonly referred to as a ramp card in one of the decks that I play. So it lets you search for land cards which you use to generate mana, which you can then use to cast spells. So when you're trying to build up your board state, as they refer to it, the amount of spells and other things that you've got in play, trying to get as many land cards in play as possible is a strong tactic. So it's a card that gets a lot of play, and I just thought it'd be cool to have a very individual version of it.
So the original card that we've just shown,
Yeah.
had loads of writing all over it, and you can't see any of that writing now. Is that not important?
No.
Why do they put writing on and it doesn't really matter?
Yeah, so they put writing on because the writing is there as like rules reminder text and lets you know what the card does. But Cultivate is such a common card that we know what it does, that it doesn't really matter that I've painted the text out, because I know what the card does, and if anybody queries it, we can just have like another copy of the card to hand and go like, look, that's what it actually does, but I wanted this version that I've painted myself. You'll see. So, where was I? I'm going to just get a bit more browny flat earth going on over here.
So you play Magic the Gathering quite often, and we have Friday night Magic in the shop, don't we, on the gaming floor, where you all play Magic the Gathering, different, like, I don't know, things. You have like, I don't know, Pauper and Commander and all sorts of weird stuff, and you get pizzas in, and you all have lots of fun. Do you want to tell us a bit about Magic and what it is, in case people don't know?
Yeah, so Magic the Gathering is a collectible card game. So if you've never experienced it before, so you play with depending on the format, a different amount of cards in your deck, but typically 60 cards in a deck, and you each of those cards represent spells and the ability to be able to cast those spells, and you as a player take the form of a wizard, and you're basically having a duel with other wizards, which are your opponents, and then you're casting spells to either benefit yourself in some way, or which might take the form of artifacts, or you're summoning creatures to fight on your behalf, or planeswalkers, which are allies that come with loyalty abilities. So while they've got power in the form of counters, they can do various effects that will benefit you in the game. So yeah, there's lots to it, but basically you are a wizard and you play spells and you try and beat your opponent either by forcing him to concede because you make it difficult for him to be able to do anything, or you summon enough creatures that you can attack him and kill him. Tony says, whatever happened to easy cards like Dark Ritual? Dark Rituals is a really good card. I use it all the time, Tony. I've got it in nearly all of my decks, Dark Ritual. Dark Ritual is a spell that you can cast for 1 black mana, so you need a swamp or another way of generating black mana, and then you use Dark Ritual, which is a 1 mana spell, but you then get 3 black mana after you've cast it. So yeah, Dark Ritual is a really good spell for black decks, and in an all black deck like a couple of mine, you need a way, because you don't have cards like Cultivate to generate you more land and what have you. You need a way to generate more mana, so you have cards like Dark Ritual, and yeah, they can really kind of accelerate your game plan for you. Right, I've made that too far over there. That needs to be a little bit narrower. That's a bit of brownery over here. So Magic is centered around 5 colours, which take the form of different types of land. So you have plains, which are white. You have islands, which are blue, swamps, which are black, mountains, which are red, and forests, which are green. So this particular card, you would use 1 green mana and 2 other mana of any other colour. So it would cost you 3 mana to cast this spell. And generally, each land card taps for 1 mana. Some of them, specific lands, tap for more than 1. Because there's various special cards, but a basic land, such as a mountain or a plains or a forest, you tap it for 1 mana, and tapping it means that you turn it sideways, basically. So it's just to denote that you've activated it and you've used its ability. And then there's different phases in the game. So when your turn starts, you have the untap phase. So when your turn starts, you untap all of your things that you've turned sideways. You then do the upkeep phase. So some cards have various things on that will be upkeep triggers, as they're referred to, which are things like at the start of your upkeep, gain 1 life or something similar. There's all sorts of various effects that can happen in your upkeep step. And then you have the draw step, where you typically draw a card from the top of your library. So you play with a hand of 7 cards, and then at the beginning of every turn in your draw step, you would draw an additional card. So you add extra cards to your hand, so you quite like playing through the cards that you've got in your deck. Right, I think I need to just broaden that out a bit at the front.
Tony says that It's glad that they've brought Dark Ritual back. It was taken out for a while. Wicked D says, I've never quite got my head around it all. You play Wicked D. And Tony says, I don't play it now because I couldn't afford it and the people aspect is a problem. Yeah, those pesky humans get in the way of game playing, don't they?
Yeah.
It all does sound very complicated to me, who's never...
Yeah, well, I've tried to explain it to you, but you weren't bothered.
It just sounds so hard. It sounds complicated. You know my brain doesn't work.
Right. So I think we're just going to have a little bit more in this water plus, and then we'll do a little bit more green, a tiny little strip of brown over here, and then we're going to put some greenery in, I think. Right, so I just want to extend this out past this cow a little bit. I'm going to refer to them as cows, but they're oxen, fictional oxen creatures.
Wicked D says, I doubt any of my cards are still allowed. Do they stop cards being allowed? What's that all about then?
So in different formats, some of your cards like rotate out of the playable format. So standard used to be the commonly played format, but since they brought out Arena, which is online and available for you to play free as an app, standard is pretty much dead in paper form. So now what we play in store instead of standard is Pioneer, and Pioneer allows you to use almost any card from kind of like 1995 onwards, I think it is. No, maybe not that far back. Maybe like 2000 onwards. So yeah, so it allows you to use a lot more. So your cards would still be legit Wicked D. You'd be fine. You'd be fine. And then the other main format that gets played in store is Commander. And the way Commander works is you can pretty much play any cards at all. There is a very small ban list for Commander, but it's pretty much anything from the whole history of Magic, with the exception of certain cards like they commonly refer to the Power 9, which are some really powerful Magic cards from the very first sets, like the Moxies and the Black Lotus and stuff. But those cards tend to be worth so much money that people don't play them anyway, so I wouldn't try and play them anyway.
But Snell says, I did try it, loved it back in that decade, but all of my mates just played Warhammer. And J-Star, hey J-Star, says, I thought this was the Bob Ross stream for a second. Red Snail says, the happy trees are coming.
Yeah.
How happy they were going to be, I don't know.
Yeah. I've never really watched any Bob Ross, so this is I just remember seeing Deadpool ripping like the Bob Ross thing with his like painting smock on and a afro-y type wig.
Tony says, my cards were from the Dark Fallen Empires, Ice Age and Weatherlight, early 90s stuff.
Yeah, classic era. A lot of the cards from the Dark and Fallen Empires are really shooting up in value at the moment, actually. If you've still got any, Tony. Because a lot of them are on what they call the reserved list. So Wizards of the Coast have made an agreement that they'll not reprint certain cards from like the older editions of Magic. So some of the cards will never be redone, and a lot of the cards from the Dark and Fallen Empires fall into that kind of age. Ice Age. I think there's some Ice Age cards that are on the reserve list as well. But some of the early stuff will never be redone, and some of them are even like common rarity cards worth like getting on to £100. So yeah, it's pretty bonkers when you think that they're just bits of cardboard. But like a lot of baseball cards and other stuff, they're collectible items, aren't they? So right, so this is that I've just got here. This is some Game Colour, Vallejo Game Colour Dark Green. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to fill in some basic greenery areas here. Now, this is very, very thin, so this is a base for where this greenery is going. Now here, now I don't know if this is really going to be dark enough. Actually, it says it's dark green, but it's actually quite vivid.
It's really, really bright green.
Yeah.
Put some black in it, I think.
Yeah.
Tony says, "Oh, he gave them away. They're expecting Edward and Nat to make room. You see, that's it. That's life. You can't keep everything and hope that one day it might be worth something, can you?"
No.
Red Star says, "If you're ever stressed out, watch Bob Ross on YouTube. Total chill out." Yeah, and everybody says that. Hasn't he got like ASMR or however, I don't know how you say it, into that kind of thing. Chilled out and whatever. We don't really get stressed, do we, sweetie? Not really got anything to get stressed about. There's always something worse that can happen.
Well, yeah. Definitely.
Even though you did get slightly stressed this afternoon when somebody came to the door and the dog tried to bolt for it.
Yeah, you just wanted to see him.
Well, he wanted to see the person at the door, but you didn't know that. You didn't know that he wasn't then just going to run off.
No.
So you caught hold of his collar, didn't you, to stop him? Yeah. And then he just pulled his head out of his collar and you had a collar and no dog.
Yeah.
Thankfully, he did just run to the person at the front door to get a big fuss, and the person went, "Here, have the dog back," because obviously we knew them, so it was fine. They knew not just to let the dog out. But all our training of trying sitting and making him wait when the front door opens and stuff just went out the window when there was somebody stood there that he wanted to say hello to. J-Star says there is a Twitch channel just replaying the shows. Yes, I've seen that one too. J-Star over and over. I haven't watched them, but I have seen that it exists. A Twitch channel that just plays Bob Ross.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's loads of stuff, isn't there?
There's the Bob Ross estate. I presume that is their Twitch channel, but yeah, it works as a charitable foundation. I understand. I can't remember where I've read it. I think it might have been actually Magic the Gathering related, because they released some of his pieces of artwork as art for land cards as part of their secret lair releases that they've done, which are basically like limited edition cards that they've printed, and they haven't done anything overly spicy in terms of like value or rarity, but the alternative arts on cards and stuff like that, and they did some that had Bob Ross art on the land cards and stuff. They've done some really funky ones actually. They did one where they had 3 cards and they'd shown children the art on the cards and asked them to do their own version. So there's some really cool ones where they're and then like so the kid had done it, and then you get the kid's version, and then you get like a professional artist's version of the kid's version. So there's a couple of really cool ones. I kind of wish I owned them, because the arts are really cool, but they were, I think it was like 6 cards for 40 quid or something like that, and I just thought,
You'll have to get a little Mr. Painty one instead.
Yeah, it's not something that we can sell in the shop. I just want it for my own collection, so I'll wait until I can find somebody selling the individual cards that I want for a reasonable price and just add those to my collection. There's one called Crater Hoof Behemoth, which the kids' version of the art looked really, really cool, and another one called Mull Drifter, which also was particularly funky, but don't need like 2 copies of it. So, yeah, they're really, really cool. I don't think this is shaping up too bad, to be fair, considering it's the first time I've ever done one. I know it looks like a bit washed out on there because it's first colourings and what have you, but I'm quite pleased with how this is turning out so far. Finding this quite relaxing.
Good. J-Star says you can't buy a Bob Ross original anymore. And there's a documentary about him on Netflix. Wicked D says, off topic, but I think I've just discovered a little piece of heaven. Flump ice cream lollies.
Flump? Aren't they those like marshmallow?
They're horrible marshmallow things. They don't taste like anything. How can you have a lolly that tastes like flumps? See, that would be my little piece of hell because I don't like flumps and I don't like ice cream, so that's just yuck.
Yeah, how tastes change over the years? Because when we first met you did used to like ice cream.
Yeah. I used to eat it if it had chocolate in it. Like, never just had like an ice cream. It had to be like Ben and Jerry's. How much chocolate chunks can you fit in? And there's some ice cream in there as well, possibly maybe.
Yeah, I remember you used to eat mint choc chip ice creams from the old
mint choc chip. Get some chocolate in it.
Yeah,
Flumps were an ITV kids programme. Well, I hope they're not making ice creams out of kids' cartoons or kids whatever. And Tony says you've got to put a wig on because that bald spot's getting annoying. He hadn't put that bit on the end. It was just wig.
Can you grab it for me? No, sorry, I've left him over there.
He got so excited playing these cards, he didn't get a wig.
Yeah.
Let's have a look. Nope, they're not in there. You've piled stuff on top of me if they're not in
there. They're in. Yeah, they're in that one. They're in that one there. Mr. Sandman. And Red Snails redeemed Hat Me.
Oh, hang on, I didn't put your wig on.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, this one smells a bit funky.
Is it? Oh dear.
There you go.
Oh, hang on. There you go. It's the Bob Ross wig. It's not brown though. Oh, and a beautiful hat with a flower on it. Yeah. Hope you can see that all right. It's all black. Black. Was that the Fast Show? Where the guy was the artist and whenever he was painting anything, as soon as somebody mentioned black, I'm like, black, it's all black.
You're just gonna giggle at yourself.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I just thought about like just getting some black paint and smearing it all over the thing. But
it might be funny until you realise you've smeared black paint on.
Yeah. I've just spent nearly an hour because I started before the stream. Just spent nearly an hour painting like, I don't know, not completely terrible for me. Picture all over this magic card and I finished me wine, so I'll have to have the water.
Maybe you should turn your water into wine. Yeah, we like the Fast Show.
We used to like the Fast Show.
J-Star says, now when you clean your water off your brush, you need to say, beat the devil out of it and start laughing to yourself.
Beat the devil out.
He did, Wicked D, you're right. That's why he's just had a drink of water. I don't understand that.
What's this?
I don't know. I'm not sure. So that's very, very, very bright green, isn't it?
It is, yeah. It needs a bit more something going on with it, yeah, definitely. But yeah, we're just walking in the basics.
I'll just,
I know.
Just asking.
I know.
So what's going on in the background?
So what's going on next is we're going to get some heavy black green. Now this is just going to be quite thick, the extra opaque game colour. So we get a bit of that, just a little bit. Bit of that.
That was very odd.
Bit of that. And then some water plus. And thin that down slightly. So then we're going to get like a bit of hedgerow going on at the back there, but not massive, or some trees even. Maybe not hedgerow because it'd be too big. We want that to be a bit more in the distance. So we're going to get some trees going on here, some happy little trees. I don't know how he says it. But,
having never watched it. Wiki D says, sorry, just being daft. I was writing in the chat that people have redeemed Wig Me and Hat Me and things, Wiki D, for the YouTube, because the chat comes up on the side of the video, but the redemptions don't. And sometimes it looks like we've just suddenly put a wig on him for no reason at all. Tony says, hold the card up from time to time and go, Jazz Club, on it. Please! Please! He's actually blue tacked it down so we can.
Yeah. I did. I blue tacked it down so I didn't move it while I was painting. So, we're going
to... Are they trees?
These are going to be trees, yeah. It's like a line of trees across the back of the field. And then we're going to do some mountainy bits and some sunshine across the top.
Oh, I see.
Does it look alright?
Yeah.
You don't sound overly sure. No, I'm worried.
You've never seen a completely green... Are they like conifers or something?
Yeah, well, yeah. So, because the paint's so thin and it's so watery, it's going to be really... I'm going to have to wait for it to dry before I can build up like the next bit of colour, you see.
If you paint... Sorry, this is a stupid question, so bear with me.
Yeah.
If you paint so thin and it's all watery and you're painting onto some cardboard, is that not just going to, like, warp the card and make it all floppy and unusual?
No. So
unusable.
No. So I've base coated the card, or I've primed the surface of the card using some acrylic paint already. So that will kind of seal the surface of the card. Yeah, I need another camera over here that I can just turn around to every once in a while and go, great. Nice.
Is that it? We're just doing fast show things now.
Yeah. I like that. I remember it with fondness, but I'm sure it wasn't as like hilarious as I used to find it. But there was one where they'd be talking about doing something in their 4x4, and they go like, right, let's off-road, and then they jump in the car and drive, and they're like going into a massive ditch or everything. Just funny in general.
Oh, Wiki D says, I never liked the Fast Show.
Oh, no.
Oh, I don't know.
There was a couple of other TV programmes that I used to really enjoy from the kind of early to mid-90s, which was Fist of Fun and the Glam Metal Detectives. Used to watch those on a Friday night. Fist of Fun? You want the moon on a stick, you do.
Yeah, we used to watch Bottom and Shooting Stars and all sorts of stuff. Did you ever watch Bottom?
Me? Yeah. Yeah, I used to like Bottom.
Oh, he's chuckling to himself now. What's the matter? Can you say on the phone in front of the street?
Yeah, I said I used to like Bottom. But, yeah.
Oh, you were being silly there. You silly sausage. He's just going on now. Son's named after Eddie. We're watching Jonathan Creek weren't we? And they're in that, aren't they?
Yeah.
It's fun.
Yeah. So Rick Mail is in the Christmas specials, isn't he?
Yeah.
He's features in some of the Christmas specials, but Aid Edmondson's in several of the episodes.
But in the Christmas specials, he has the persona more of Flashheart than Richie.
Yeah, I like it. It's good. Jonathan Creek's really good. If you've got time to kill and you want to watch something you've never seen it before, it's a good program. Something a bit more light-hearted than your average detective film program. Right then, so there we go. That's our tree line to start off with. Let me get my reference picture back up. So we've got tree line, basics, and then we're going to have a layer of like lighter. Sorry, I was just seeing Moxie's post. The Love Fast show. When I watched it, I was very, very drunk. The burglar in bottom, and the who is it that they sellotape to the ceiling? Is it a copper, or is it the burglar that they sellotape and then the copper comes to the door, and they've sellotaped the burglar to the roof? I can't remember.
How are you getting
on? All right, good. Yeah, was Eddie called Hitler? Was it Eddie Hitler or something? That was his surname. Right then, so we're going to have this lighter green, which is Reaper Knoll Pelt. So this is a band of lighter green field the other side of the trees.
Yes, it was the burglar.
Just coming down. Over here.
Are you streaming at 9 Wicked D? Edward Hitler and Richard. That's right. Edward Elizabeth Hitler.
Elizabeth. Oh dear. Excuse me.
We watched Catchphrase, didn't we?
That was absolutely terrible.
Which we haven't seen for years and years and years and years. But Little Miss wanted to watch it, and it was one of the new ones.
Just another vehicle for Stephen Mulhern. in between his butlins.
And Aid was on it. And Stephen Mulhern was asking him whether he missed the old days of Bottom and the young ones and all this lot. And Aid was like, oh, yeah, that was then, but I've moved on and I've done lots of other things since then, and it was fun, but life moves on, and that was a very long time ago. And then the first catchphrase was the young ones.
Yeah.
And when he realised what it was, he just rolled his eyes, didn't he? As if to say, really? I've done other things.
Yeah, he's like a director and all sorts of stuff now. He's done all sorts of other things, but yeah, you're just going to roll it out because your production team can't do research. Terrible. Right, just going to have to excuse me a second. I need to blow my nose. I didn't inspect it, I promise. I've turned it back on. Just in time to say I haven't inspected it, I promise.
Be gross. Joe says the Halloween episode where he had the cattle prod and the Christmas one, Terry's girl Frankenstein mask and grrr.
Awesome.
Have seen all the bottom and like Hotel Paradiso and all that. I just until I watch them. Once I start watching them, I go, oh yeah, but I can't remember them. You know, as well as obviously Red Star can't and J Star can't. But it's the same with everything. Really, really love certain programs, and then forget it. I couldn't do a quiz. For example, I've seen Buffy the Vampire Slayer at least 7 million times, and once it's on the telly, I could talk along to all the cast. But but in a quiz, yeah, which really annoys you, doesn't it? But in a quiz, you ask me a question, and it just falls out of my brain, like Red Dwarf. Like, I could tell you everything apart from if you ask me about it, and then it's just blank. You could probably take your hat off now if you wanted to. Just saying. And the live ones are mint. Red Star says yes. Yeah, they're funny. Wiki D says best get myself a drink ready. Oh, is that a hint? Hint that Wiki D is going to be streaming in 3 minutes. And Red Star says Buffy. Hubba. But which do you prefer though? Like the Buffy the TV series or Buffy the film?
Well, the original Buffy film.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, I really like the original Buffy film.
I like the original Buffy film. Yes, free hydrates on Wicked D's stream. But we're going to hopefully raid. It wouldn't let us last time. It wouldn't let us raid last time. So you better tell us what you're doing and then and stuff.
No.
Wicked D, what are you actually streaming tonight? Is it? Wicked D normally plays a computer game, Pokemon or Harry Potter and things like that.
What was I going to do? Yes, so I mixed a little bit of saffron yellow and fireball orange with some of the water plus, and I'm painting a kind of sunsetty sky over our. That's my plan, to do like a sunset sky over the top of our scene. Yeah, it's going to be. There's going to be like a nice big white area here, which is where the sun is, and then like orange and yellowy patch. So mixed like a slightly yellowy, orangey yellow here, which I'm going to do for most part of the sky, and then we're going to fill that in with a bit of other colour as we go on. And then I'm going to do some mountains down here, which I'm going to use some of this basic dirt from Reaper to do my mountains, and then we'll be done on the basic colouring. Something a bit different this evening, isn't it? I've been painting Space Marines and other stuff for the past few weeks. Just fancied something a bit different. I've really enjoyed it as well.
Moxie says, talking about video games, have you played Elden Ring yet? I think you would like it.
No, I haven't. I just haven't had a chance. Well, a lot of people have told me.
How much is it?
I don't know. I don't know if
that's a factor.
I don't know if it's something that we can download from the Xbox. The Xbox store thing that we have.
Pete says it's too expensive. Are you like me though, Pete? A penny's too expensive. Especially now everything's gone up. Especially now we've had the council tax bill. We can no longer live in our house and we're going to have to live in a shed in somebody else's garden. Because we can't afford it. We'll have to live on the top floor of the shop. Yeah. We're gonna try and raid you, Wiki D, but it wouldn't let me last time. But look, I'll try my little bestest. Once you've actually switched it on.
I don't know how that works. If we've already paid our business rates, do we get to live there for free?
I don't think the landlords would particularly like us moving in, though, to be fair. Yeah. You can't have, what is it, when you rent it out to somebody else? What's that called?
Subleasing.
Yeah, no subleasing, no... and also, there's no hot water or heating in the shop, so we might be a little bit smelly after about a week.
Yeah, that's no good.
We'll just have to board the house up and pretend there's nobody here.
Yeah. Bye, Wicked D. See you soon.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
Once she switches it on, I'll see if it lets us. And you're going to tell us what. It'll be Sunday next time.
Yeah, Sunday will be our next stream. Depending on what we're doing. If we're doing painting, then I will show you the result of this. If not, I will put it in Discord. And honest. So Sunday we'll either be streaming a video game or potentially some miniature painting, and then we'll definitely be back for miniature painting on Monday, where I'll be painting some more of this dude, the giant from TT Combat. So join us then. So 4 PM on Sunday we'll be streaming something, and then 8 PM on Monday for some giant action. So
it won't let me raid, I don't know why.
really?
It says that Wicked D is an invalid username. But it's not though, because I can see it. I can see it right there looking at me.
Yeah, she's just been.
She's just been like and stuff. But anyway, if you would like to go on over and take a look at Wicked D's stream,
It would be really cool.
she does need to get to 50 followers. Follows are free, of course. She does need to get to 50 followers so that Pete can drown her in hydrates.
Yeah.
But as for us, we absolutely love having you all here. We really, really appreciate seeing you all and us not just talking to ourselves for an hour. We hope that you've liked the slightly different stream that we've done this evening.
Thank you, everyone.
And yeah.
Oh, you're up there. Hey.
Thank you very much.
The camera's normally over here. Thank you, everyone. We'll see you all soon. Enjoy the rest of your evening.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Take
Goodbye.
care, everyone.